I got a question about how to properly insert the scale in the title block. So you'll see here that there are 3 viewports in this drawing, and each of these viewports is at a different scale. Okay, and you can see that these 2 up here have this gray background. That indicates they have a field attached to them. So if I click on that viewport and I change the scale like to 4:1 instead of 2:1, nothing has immediately happened to the text, but if I save this and close it, it will update. The text has actually already been updated in the file, it's just not updated on screen yet. To cause it to do that, we could type regen all, and you'll see that the text is indeed updated. So let me undo that change. And now I want to show you how to do that. So I already have some text here in Paperspace. Right now this is just text though. And I could type that the scale's 1:1, but it's not linked to the viewport at all. So maybe that's the scale, maybe that's not. And if the viewport is changed, that scale won't follow the changes in the viewport. So to properly do that, you would insert a field. And you can either click on this button up here in the ribbon that says field, or I like to use the shortcut, which is Control F. And that brings open this window, the field box. Now these are all the fields you can pick, and there's lots of options for each of these. The one that we're going to use right now is this one called object. And you notice it doesn't look like there's any objects. That's because what we need to do now is we need to pick an object. So I'm going to click this little crosshair icon here which says to select the object. And here you have to be careful. If I click in blank space, nothing happens. If I click in the viewport, nothing happens. If I click on the viewport, the line that makes the viewport, now it will come up, and you'll notice it says here the object type you've selected is a viewport, and these are all the options. So we could pick the color of the line that makes the viewport. We could pick the height of the viewport, and it lists it here as 7.75 inches. If we want to insert a scale, we'll select this custom scale, and I'm going to say use scale name. Then I can just hit OK. And now the scale is in there, and it's attached to the viewport. It's linked to that object. So now if the viewport scale changes, this field will also update. You'll notice that there are some items in the title block down here too that are similar. Those items will also update. Let's go look at another file. So here's a file that has some 3D geometry in it, and I've inserted these views using the viewBase command. And in this case, we also want to put in the scale, but there's no viewport. So how is that done? Well, we can do it a pretty similar way. So I'm going to use mtext, and I'm going to draw my text box here, and then now I'm going to hit Control F and use the same exact options. So select object and pick on an object type. Now if we click on lines here, it's going to say block reference. That's not what we want. That's the geometry that's in the view, but there's no border. So notice what happened there. It says drawing view now, and what I typically do is I know there's a border around each of these objects. So if I click here, nothing's going to happen because there's nothing there. But if I click repeatedly, I just usually start at the top right corner and work my way left. You'll see right there I hit the border of it, and now it says drawing view. And from this point it's the same. Use the scale name, OK. And so there we have it. Now the scale is in the field and it's linked to this view. You'll notice if you roll over the drawing view, it shows you the border, and that is the border that I clicked on to be able to use that property.